I forgot to mention that, like, before I was old enough to play football, my brother could play, and I was so jealous. I uh, I would wear his football shoulder pads like around the house and even to the grocery store, like out in public. I thought, I thought they were so cool having them shoulder pads on. I was so excited to play. And then I'd get home with them shoulder pads on, and I'd run around the house and slam into the couch and like tackle my sister and stuff. Man, good times. This is going to be insightful, it's going to be relatable, and hopefully entertaining. So, now that I'm saved, and I've learned that we were predestined the whole time to finally find God and give our life to Him, I want to reflect on little glimpses that I can see clearly now that God had His hand over my life the whole time through sports. So, like, I was always that kid that was way better than the coach's son and with a bigger heart. I was you couldn't hate me. You couldn't I was just a huge asset to every team that I've been on, but I always had to fight that envious coach dad that would outshine his son. And I feel like there was more hate from, parents and envy from the parents and coaches than my teammates, because they felt I was more of a passive player, an assist man than anyone through all the years, through all the sports, and I would still end up with twice as many goals, twice as many touchdowns. The stats would speak for itself that I was an unselfish player. And dude, I just got to thinking about this morning. Sports, which I don't view sports the same way as I used to. They're not even really that important. And I think on the world stage, to some extent, if you can bet on something, they got to be scripted or rigged to some extent because Vegas is going to win. But okay, so I had always had belief in God, and like I started playing hockey when I was like 3 years old, and I was good at it, like instantly, skating laps around the rink, like without falling or anything. And I fell in love with it. And I remember my dad trying to get my older brother into it. He's like 5 or 6 years older than me. And I couldn't, I was always so like, if my brother was doing something, I had to be involved. So when my brother had his like practices, I was allowed to like skate with them because I was good enough. And actually, I was skating laps around all of those older kids at the time. And I think my brother found out quickly that he wasn't going to be playing hockey. Um, but yeah, like through the years, and I'm sure you were the same way, you've never been outspoken. You were more reserved, and the world told us we were shy. And I mean, maybe that was true, and maybe we embraced that because the world told us so much that we were shy. But like, we've always been just aware of our surroundings. And the world told us we were always in our mind, like thinking too much and crap. And I don't know, maybe that's true, but I was always a kid of few words, but when I spoke, dude, everyone had to like turn and look. Like I remember in the locker room on the hockey team, I would anytime I did open my mouth to like someone next to me, the whole like everyone in the locker room would turn like lean in and be like, you know, they would be so like, oh my god, what's he saying? They'd always be like, so like your words to everyone when you finally speak are incaptivating. Like they have to hear what you say. Uh, so like that, it was like that through all my youth. I always felt different. People showed me based on their reactions that I was different, and so yeah, there's that through hockey, football, any sport that I played. Just imagine someone that you can't find anything to hate on because they're just good. They're a team player and they want everyone else to succeed. Like I always found joy in getting an assist to someone that was not that good of a player. It like warmed my heart. And so these dude, I was, and I don't even want to sound braggadocious, but like so much and so clearly better than like my teammates. The coaches, the coaches would put me with the worst kids on the team. And in their defense, you know, we gotta even things out and stuff. We gotta even things out. We gotta put you with the two worst players that exist. And you know, these kids could hardly skate. Freaking the typical like helmet like down to their freaking eyeballs, and they while the coach's kids were all on the same line. And a lot of times, you know, they would, it's like the coaches would have their kids start, their kids were the starting line, like the next, like the second, third, and fourth best players all together with this really good, like, camaraderie and this good, like, fluent passing game and stuff. And then there's me with these kids that, dude, and the amazing thing about it, I would still get, I would make these kids better. I made them better through the years, and I was so unselfish. I would like deke all these defenders out and freaking break ankles on my way to the net, and I'd be looking to set up an assist, and these kids loved playing with me, and then I like started embracing it. Like a lot of times, yeah, I was upset because I had to like watch how all the starting crew were having fun, and you know, it was a lot easier for them, and I had like no help when I was out on the ice. But it, like God was shining through me the whole time, and he showed everyone in the arena like my character, my heart, and I would still get off with like hat trick games, and I one time I scored 6 goals in a game, and these like everyone, all my teammates loved me, I think. But I mean, I'm sure there was some like jealousy in there, but I never had envy or jealousy towards anyone. Like there were always a one or two kids that were like faster than me, which, you know, but I was fast too. But I saw it as like healthy competition. Like we would race gut busters, they'd call them, at the end of practice. And it's crazy because reflecting on it, I remember like just having these like simple thoughts about God, like, God help me, let's do this. I've always like been that way. And I feel like the other kid that we were like neck and neck with throughout the years was probably like not having that same like loving spirit. Like they were just like wanting to be better, be the best, which I get that too. But so, man, dude, I played hockey for 11 years, and I had to when it came to like freshman year of high school, I was getting into like my third or fourth year playing basketball, and I had to dual sport because they both were played in the winter. And again, like the basketball coach, they were always waiting and looking for a reason to make me feel like I'm like a negative person or something like that. So I couldn't always make it to both practices like on time because hockey was like an hour away. And eventually I showed up to basketball like not even late. Well, I guess if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. But I was always just rushing from practice to practice within the same day. And I showed up to basketball one time, and coach was like, Devin, and everyone like was like had their eyes open like this, and I'm like, what? And he's like, we gotta let you go. We gotta let you go. We can't have this. And that was my first time ever being like kicked off of a team. I've never been like cut or anything, but I could like feel that it was like the moment of his life being able to do that. And I was pretty good at basketball too. I love basketball, by the way. I still play like all the time. But and I was like good. I was a point guard. I didn't have as much confidence in basketball, but yeah, the coach got over on me there, and like all the kids were like all high and mighty about themselves, and so I was like, all right, yeah, I'm done. I'm playing hockey. Football too. Like there was this kid that was a really good athlete. He was pretty gifted. He was a year younger than me. So when I was a sophomore, he was a freshman, and he was a quarterback too. And he was good. We were both good in our own ways. Like I was more of like a Barry Sanders, and I would run people over too, and I had a good passing game. But his like family like had more clout, and we lived in a small town, and so every time him and I like got to play together, because he would move up from freshman to like JV, and then like I don't know, he sat back on JV while I went up to varsity the next year. But when we were playing together, we like the coaches would they'd give him more reps, like unfairly, and they'd be like, well, Devin's obviously like good enough to play anywhere we put them on the field. So they'd put me at like receiver and running back and stuff, and I would do better than our like. I'd have better games at running back than our main running back, and I would score like 3, 4, or 5 touchdowns. And now I got like my running back and my other teammates like hating on me like in a sly way. But I feel like it was all God's doing. Like in my heart, I I really wanted to be the best, and I trained often, and I was always active from one sport to the next. And then like in school and gym class, we'd be, oh, we're playing hockey today, and I'm like, yes, this is gonna be fun. Playing hockey on the gym floor with a bunch of kids that just go to school and don't really play sports like I do. I would freaking, I'd be whizzing that puck like right past freaking goalie's head. We had this one kid that loved playing goalie, and he was on the football team too, and the basketball team, and he was so clumsy. Oh man, he was so clumsy. Like when he would shoot free throws in basketball, he would shoot it over the backboard. Like no lie, like every time. Just really bad hand-eye coordination, but he was a good goalie. And he had a good heart. And I was always attracted, like even though I was like popular and I had all the good equipment and nice equipment and stuff. I was always attracted and had a big heart for the less like skilled teammates. And I always knew who had a good heart. And this kid was one of them, but he was tough too. I would whip that puck at him. The gym teacher would be like, no slap shots. You can't bring the stick above your hip. But dude, I had such a strong wrist shot. I freaking hit him. Dude, it was like a bullet. I'd hit him in the forehead. I'd hit him in the mouth. But he was like this tough, goony kid. Almost like he was honored to play goalie against me in gym class. And I loved it. I did not hold back. I would purposefully like shoot it at him like as hard as I could. And he's not wearing any equipment. He's just sitting there. Like he knew enough about hockey. He didn't play, but he had like his goalie stance and everything, and I'd be like running down the gym floor like, here it comes. There were times I'd have like 15, 20 goals already in gym class, to the point where it's like, all right, this is dumb. Just whip it right at him, dude, and just smoke him in the head or the gut. Oh man. The ref or the gym teacher, whenever we played hockey, it'd be 5-on-5, and the gym teacher would have his whistle in his mouth, and he would grab a stick and jump on the other team 5-on-6. And it was like I was always put on a pedestal. And I mean, like, it was cool at the time, but I didn't like want all that attention. But everyone already knew that like I was gifted. gym teacher, and then like the gym teacher would like check me. This grown man, actually like freaking bodybuilder dude, he'd like try to check me and cross check me with his stick, which is like illegal. He'd like wrap me up, kind of like sexually strange now that I think about it, because I was just like a little kid. That was like in middle school, 7th and 8th grade. He would like, I'd be like running by, like deking all these people out, and he would like step onto the court and like wrap me up for like 10 seconds straight, or like hold me by my shirt to let the other kids, like, have a fair advantage. But yeah, dude, stuff like that. Reflecting on like my sport life, because it was a big part of my life, uh, and I'm only scratching the surface, like I said, of like the ways that I can now see that God was letting me shine through sports. I wasn't arrogant at all. I even like this school, I I was like, should have been homecoming king, but they like, I don't know what happened or how it happened, but this like theater kid got it, and I was just like, oh, wasn't even butthurt about it. But my like girlfriend at the time would get homecoming queen, and it was just funny. I feel like the school had it against me too. Like, they always trying to like break you or get at you or whatever, and you're just like, whatever, dude. No, no, I don't care. I'm just here to enjoy life, is like what you're thinking at the time. You're just like, I'm thankful that I'm good at what I do, and people want to hate. All right, man. Yeah, I used to watch these Barry Sanders videos before every football game, dude. It would get me so pumped up. Oh man, I'll still watch those from time to time. That dude was amazing. And we had him on Detroit, and Detroit's like finally good this year, but I'm pretty sure it's all just planned, scripted nonsense, distraction, distraction from more important things. And dude, like, when I try to talk sense into people about that, they ought to like, they ought to take heed that like, I was really good at sports. So ponder why I am not tuned into like sports anymore as I used to be. They should like put two and two together. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, like what's going on, like why they're trying to get Detroit to the Super Bowl all of a sudden. It is interesting. I guess it's cool. They want to put Michigan on the map, and all of us in Michigan are like, well, at least I'm seeing it like this. Like, people are gonna be flocking. People already are like flocking to Michigan because it's it's a cool place. like the further north you go, the more like secluded it is. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm thinking like we don't want to get a bunch of people. We don't want a bunch of out of staters coming here. I think everyone feels the same way wherever they live. They don't want a bunch of like new people moving in. But yeah, dude, sports were like a big part of my life, and I can see how God was trying to show me through sports that I was always his. So I'm going to leave that there. As the days go on, I'm going to continue to dive back into these fun topics here and there with new ideas and stuff. But I'll leave that there. Quick update. I finished painting, so I'll be able to move into my new place, and that's exciting. My sleep has been like screwed up, and someone called it out. They were like, I hope you're getting good sleep and healthy. So pretty soon, I mean, I gotta work today, but pretty soon I'll be able to move all my stuff over there and have, you know, some peace and the ability to like make videos, and I'll actually have a desk, which I haven't had for like ever. And that'll be really useful. Anyways, say hello to Frankie. All right, y'all. Catch you in the next one.